Hello, we're welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professionalism for today's items only. The investment we're going to talk today will be ETH. First, I want to say happy Friday, everybody. A very great week, by the way. Respect to recording time on this Black Friday at 1:11 p.m. on Eastern Time. Ethereum trading $4,070, that's about 10% so far. As you can see clearly on the left side of the house, the entire crypto market is relatively red today with respect to some of the macro factors we've identified earlier this morning, right? Just to keep tabs, right? With respect to the COVID news, it seems like there is a new COVID variant. It's not even a Delta. It's just like a number at the moment. But I foresee, the medical professional will be converting this numeric name for this COVID variant to more of a Greek letter going forward. I foresee it's going to be some sort of like U or something like that. I don't know. I don't really speak the Greek language system. But in addition to that, some of the catalysts has been driving the sell-off across the entire market. In addition to just crypto, also the equity have also, experienced some downturn today with respect to in addition to COVID variants news, but also with respect to this disappointing consumer retail stocks experience on some of the recent earnings as well. Also, the third catalyst is also driving some sell-off with respect to the bond yield seems to be also spiking all over again. So when you have kind of like a triple whammy effect, double whammy is already quite severe and quite significant into driving some specific factors into pushing it on either side of the momentum onto the market. We have a triple one today, right? So also with the mixture, if you talk about Ethereum specifically, the option expiry, right? That also kind of put into that mixture of the soup that we're cooking right now. I would say today is a sales day for if you're more of a long-term investor, but if you're more of a short-term investor with some leverage, and also at the same time you've been playing the options, it's definitely more of a surprise. Among investors. So it could be kind of a mixed bag today. I'm assuming some investors are probably relatively disappointed heading to the weekend, and some investors might be like myself. I'm really happy today. I did invest a relatively sizable of my cash balance, about $60,000 of my personal holdings into respective stocks and also respective cryptocurrency today. So definitely interesting day for me, for me to pursue some of the long-term investments holding that I have in front of me. And on the media front, let's just dive into the news front. So with respect to first one on Market Watch about 2 hours ago, talk about interest rate market may have the biggest impact on Bitcoin in near term, this asset management said. So some of the hedge fund managers has been relatively vocal on to triangulating between the bond yields spikes or dip in comparisons to that anti-correlation effects to obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So the reason that we see this is because interest rate spikes oftentimes serve as some sort of a safe haven instrument or indicator to the market. Whenever you see an interest rate spike, that's always like an indicator that the economy is not doing so well. It needs to charge a much higher interest for them to sustain the financial circulation on the institutional level. And when that happens, obviously will drive some sell-off across the market because corporations just needs to pay up a higher debt structure, right? Because of the interest rate that they will incur into their balance sheets. And also on top of the fact that, for people to borrow money in a circulatory perspective for mortgage, for, credit card debts and all that stuff, that will also escalate that, which will subsequently marginalize our, cash holding. So with that affectation, oftentimes drives sell-off across the market, right? Both on the corporate side, mainly stem from the investments or investors' sentiments on the, more of a disappointing or less more of a bearish outlook on the economical front, right? So that's the first news. The other news is really collectively, I would say, the 6 news that I see in front of me with respect to Decrypt, Market Watch, CNBC, and Bazinga. Even Cointelegraph talks specifically about with respect to the plunge of crypto. I don't really think this is a plunge, to be honest. This is more of just a sales of it's not even a correction either. This is just a more of a market overreaction because of the COVID variants news is kind of just like catching us on a surprise. And we also have to use our spidey sense to think about like why is it so coincidental that it's happening on Black Friday today, and it's quite interesting. Anyways, but I don't want to like drive too much of a conspiracy talk when I don't have enough evidentiary support for me to back up my thesis. Then I'll just be talking fluff, right? So let's just dive into the technicals. In addition to that, let me just like talk about some of the investments I've done today. In addition to crypto that I bought some today, I bought 2 Ethereum just as a hedge because I think it's a normalized level that we, I don't feel too terrible about buying at the low 4,000, so I did buy 2 Ethereum today. So technically, I have about 57 Ethereum in total in my holdings right now. My cost average is still relatively low, because the bulk of my investments has been around like in the 3 digits, right? When it was like trading around like the 300s to the 600s. More on the 600 side of the world. 300 was more of a, I just got a little bit taste of it, but the big bulk of it, like around like 30 Ethereum that I actually just loaded in when I was in a pizzeria one day, and I was looking at the chart in comparisons to the historical trends of Bitcoin. I just thought Ethereum was a good hedge, so I decided to just load up and buy like 30 Ethereum on the spot when I was like eating pizza in a pizzeria when I was like chatting with my friend at that time, and I was just like, screw it, let me just do it. And I have a lot to thank for him because like he's been pushing me to be investing into crypto for quite some time, especially on Ethereum on the long-term value proposition. So I do have gratitude towards him for his for that grace that he given me, or that blessing that he has given me that day, right? In addition to that, I did buy a little bit more Neo, so I do have about 8,000 shares of Neo at the moment. I bought like just about like 200 shares, so not a lot. In addition to that, I did load up on Alibaba, which is I'm back to Alibaba all over again. I wasn't really investing into Alibaba. I did invest in Alibaba like 2 years ago when it was like low in the low 100 ish, like 113 ish, and I sold it when it was like around like 160 ish or something like that, right? I didn't ride up all the way to the 300s because I was diversifying my portfolio onto more Tesla focused stocks because Tesla is one of my biggest holding right now. I have about $1.1 million in Tesla stocks at the moment in my portfolio, so it's one of my biggest holdings. And with respect to Baba, I think it's just an extreme overreaction, and we've been sliding off the cliff from like the 320 all the way to 131. That's like a 60%, 75% sell off from the top. And if you look closely, looking on a weekly perspective, today was a relatively good bottom. You can see that we have two dips that form in in October 19th of 2018. We also did ones in basically Christmas time 2018. And we cracked through all of that to the current day today. We're back to 133. And I know obviously because of the, COVID variants news, that's the number one, but also with respect to the uncertainty around like, is China going to be delisting Baba? But if you look at the financial metrics, I'm just going to give it on a high level perspective. I think the business fundamentals definitely very, really strong fundamentals. I think, in comparisons to the growth of Amazon, which is obviously a behemoth in the US, the growth trajectory has, is actually, outperforming how Amazon is doing. And there's still such a huge untapped market internationally for Alibaba to further expand onto. In addition to that, we understand that with respect to the margins, I guess squeeze that they've had so far, is not because they've been getting crushed on a supply perspective. It's because they've been investing into the business, and also with respect to recent acquisitions that they've done as well. Right, so Baba was a great dip today. So I did buy 100 shares of Baba today. I plan on buying more because I don't think it's gonna fall down even further. Maybe further to like the low 100s that I would love to buy more. So I actually still have some cash reserve on the side for me to further grab onto BABA. But on the RSI scale, we know that we're way below oversold right now. We're below 30. We're like the 27 right now. And despite the MACD still at a relatively bearish sign, I think today was more of an overreaction on the downsides because it's really coming from, the negative news from China, but also the COVID variants. So, and also the triple whammy effects that I talked about, the bond use type of drag the market to all go down from there, right? So today was a dip for BABA, and I appreciate this dip, so I did a little bit of Black Friday shopping today. So that's pretty much on the news front. I know I kind of went off tangent, beside Ethereum, but Ethereum is I think the news is really just more news around what happened with respect to the COVID variants, right? And I think we'll hear more news about it, but I think in the meantime, today was a more of an overreaction, right? We did sell down to below 3,950 earlier today, touching the 3,850 closely, right? Right now, down about 10% so far, 44 out of 70. So, would I be buying more? Yeah, I would be buying more Ethereum, but today was a good logical level for me because it's a normalized level, and I did not get into, obviously, again, like I told you, I got like around this level, like the low 4,000, right? And the reason is not because it's the best level or the worst level, it's just because it's a logical level, right? So 3,800 to 3,475 is still going to be more of my palatable zone, if you may, right? So I'll wait until that to come down. I don't think this is a cup and handle. I think this is more of a bearish cup and handle, to be honest. I think this looks more like a head and shoulder, like we kept talking about, right? This is like a shoulder, or this is kind of like a shoulder, and this is like a shoulder. This is the head, right? But in terms of cup and handle, like I said, right, we need to fill the rim of the cup, right? We don't have the rim yet, so we cannot form really a handle at the moment because the chart is incomplete, right? So today was the dip. Do we see more sell-off? I think we will see during the weekend, contingent on how the COVID variants news is going to revive a little bit more. I'm sure we're going to hear more because like they're going to obviously give us like an update with respect to what is this variance going to be named. Right now it's just like in numbers, like 921 something something something. It's like in the 6-digit number code for a COVID variant. So they haven't even like named it. Is it like a beta? Is it a delta? Or whatever, epsilon, or whatever they're going to be calling it. So we'll see how that comes. And I think, again, my perspective or my spidey sense today is the more of an overreaction again, right? So Bitcoin right now is at the 54. So again, right, so buying at around like the 52,791 to the level of 48,000 would still be the logical dip. And I think right now we are relatively oversold. But again, right, the frame of reference for us to get there would be somewhere around here. So incurring some risk right now, down close to about 9% is not a terrible level to incur risk at the moment for Bitcoin, knowing the fact that we're at the 37. But if you really want to test your luck to go down all the way to below 35, yeah, just wait until we get to the frame we talked about. So Dogecoin right now, it's at the 20. So it is the dip right now. So buy at the current level in between to the 1950. Cardano is going to come back down to 145. I think we are oversold like crazy. I think some people actually got lucky early today to 145. We actually got there. So we're reversing back up, kind of rebounding right now. So Cardano's not a terrible buy at the moment. Solana right now, we're going to come back down to 133 all the way to 113 based on how the current setup right now. So I think Solana still have some room to fall down to. We're levitating right now. This is not even a consolidation. So we just have to wait for it to cool back down to all the way to below. XRP right now at the 94. So as we break 94, I hope we don't because it seems like we're very bearish with the 33 out of 70. So XRP is going to be somewhere around like 88 to 94 is going to be the dip. And I think 88 would be the dip because we're very oversold and we have a consolidation level down below. And I think you could probably buy XRP on Binance or some other trading platform. I think Binance actually has it. Polkadot is down about 14% right now, so we're gonna come back down to 33 to 25. So Polkadot is the dip coming right now. Like I keep mentioning, these numbers are all coming true. These is not because I'm a wizard, again, because the technicals are just speaking the language specifically. Algorand's 161, so I think the dip is now. Buy 161 between 161 to 152. I think if you want to test your luck, go down to 150 too, because we're at the 40, not 35 yet. So, but again, you don't want to be too greedy by being too patient either, if you know what I mean. Shiba Inu, again, right, the 2750 to the 900, right? I think we still have some room to fall down to. So, before I actually dive into the breakdown, remember the pants that I talked about yesterday? It actually came in. These are so beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. It's like kind of like chocolate brown colorway. I literally ordered them like. Remember I talked about shopping on Black Friday. So I bought yesterday because the sales was on already. They do like extended like I don't know early Black Friday sales. And I bought in for like 50% off, right? And it came like the next day. I don't know how that works because like you would assume that logistically it's gonna be very backed up, right? But it came in. It is so nice, and I actually tried it on. It's like it fits me perfect. But now I checked today, right? It's sold out completely. So I'm very happy with what I did yesterday. So I think it was a pretty smart move that I actually bought in before Black Friday happened. Maybe it's because I'm on the computer all the time, so I was always like looking for the deals, I guess. But anyways. So with respect to risk management level, these are the levels that you should dollar cost average at, and I know we are within the zones that we have identified so far. Again, these were not predictions that I made, right? These are just levels that we identify as we deplete to more of a normalized level, right? So the dip is now, right? Or it's coming for respective coins, right? So incurring your cash reserve right now would be very logical. You know what I'm trying to say? So hopefully this is helpful. I hope that my work is helpful to you and also give you that clarity and transparency that you guys are looking for. And feel free to give me any questions or give me a shout if you have any specific questions. I really appreciate you. And my last request is I really want to just say thank you for everybody for your support so far. And if you really like my channel and you really like the work that I do or you find me useful at all, please, feel free to refer, my channel to your friends. If you guys all can collectively refer me to 2 or 3 of your friends, my channel can grow from there. And, I really appreciate your effort. It takes a village to do what I'm doing. And I just hope that the work will actually be helpful to all the people around the world. And I'm doing this one day at a time, like growing by like 3 subscribers per day, doing it incrementally. But it's just a little effort, a little progression is always already enough to motivate me every single day. And really appreciate you. I cannot be more thankful than ever. You guys are changing my life slowly. So I'm really happy. I'm really thankful. And yeah, so hope you guys all have a great rest of the day today on this Friday. Don't panic. It's supposed to happen on a technical perspective. I think I'm bullish with respect to some of the coins and some of the equity stocks that we're seeing in front of us, despite how negative or how bearish it seems like on the media front right now. It's supposed to be like that because they try to influence the market to sell down. So the smart people like yourself will be buying into it, right? All right, so take it easy and have a good day. Take care. Bye.